Hey there, everybody. How's it going? This is Robert from the Bards of Gaming podcast. I just wanted to reach out and throw in this little intro saying that if this is your first episode, welcome. If this is your second episode, welcome back. I forgot to put in the original recording of the podcast where you could find us if you wanted to, leave us any feedback or comments or anything like that. You can find us at Instagram at the Bards of Gaming, or you can find us on Twitter or X at 2 Bards of Gaming with the number 2. With that being said, I really appreciate any and all support. And like I said, and like I say in this podcast, we're just a couple of nerds. This is a passion project for us because we both just genuinely enjoy video games and we love to talk to anybody and everybody about them. So that being said, if you know the game that we're about to talk about, Castle Crashers, please leave us some feedback. So that being said, let's get into it. Hope you enjoy. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Bards of Gaming podcast, where we do our best to raise the bar and play the games that are kind of hard. This is your boy Robert, sitting here with the most magical ice knight, my boy Fred. What is going on?
What the fuck was that? Hey, Robert. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm good. How are you?
I'm just dandy. Jesus. You good?
No, I can tell you that right now. I'm not fucking good.
We're pretty new to this, so we just had to record that intro like 10 times, and each time just got progressively funnier. So we got Fred over here with the giggles, and I'm trying to record a legit line.
Robert's every time he takes a take, he does a take. He just shit, fuck, god, fuck.
I feel like I should cut that out.
Oh, but fucking leave it. I don't care.
Anyway, so we're going. We're doing it live. I'm not
one take.
I'm not cutting this anymore. I'm not trying over. Anyway, so this week we are going to be talking Castle Crashers.
Castle Crashers.
Which, I mean, I cannot call this one underrated. The last week's game was extremely underrated. This one was, and I guess still is, like the number one Xbox 360 arcade game of all time. Like, Google it. It's top of the list.
And it's such a good game.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And we, so if you didn't listen to last week's episode, what we did for last week's episode, which we covered Evoland, we had both played the game years ago. We didn't remember it. We tried to talk about it. Our first episode sucked. We re-recorded only after downloading the game on our phone, beating it within 24 hours, and trying to remember as much as we could while we talked about the game. This time, it's been 2 weeks, and we tried to decide what game should we cover now that it's been, now that we had a little bit of time and we seem to have somewhat of a format and we like the way that things are going. And we saw that Castle Crashers was on sale on the Switch. So we downloaded it and did our best to play through it in an adequate amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Now, I just want everybody to understand, right? I tried very hard to convince Robert that we should do Bum Simulator, but he is a dirty stick in the mud and said no. So,
not yet. I gotta beat it first. Oh my god, Bum Simulator. Aside from Castle Crashers, I have not had much time to play any video games at all in the last 2 weeks. But
me neither.
We played a lot together for the first half of the game or so, and then we weren't able to line things up time-wise to keep playing multiplayer, so I took it upon myself to play solo, as did you. Mm-hmm. And then we came together again for the end of the game, which I had beaten and gone back, whatever. So to get into the game a little bit, it's a game that was originally made by the crew from Newgrounds, I believe. They're also the ones responsible for making Battle Block Theater, is it? Absolutely
Fantastic game. Yes. That is one of my all-time favorites. But yeah, I believe Battle Block was before this one.
Really?
I'm 95% sure that Battle Block came first. I could be completely wrong though, so don't fact check me, please. But it was I believe they pulled the art style for this game from Battle Block because there's so many similarities.
Okay. I mean, this game is just like I said about Evoland all last week. Like, this game is also just charming. I mean, it is from the get-go. It is just funny. You start the game up, and you have like 4 knights, I think, that you can choose from. So there's multiplayer up to 4 players.
Yeah,
and there's 4 different knights that you can choose from when you start. There's the fire guy. There's the green gas guy. The ice guy. There's the electric red guy, and I think there's the pink. So 5.
I feel like there's 6 for some reason, but you're right. There's at least 5 that are there.
Yeah, I think you unlock.
There's the regular knight, the white knight.
I think you unlock him after like the first level. Actually,
do you?
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong, but regardless. So yeah, as you start the game, it starts you out with this little cutscene where you're essentially in this castle and partying, and then you hear some noise or whatever, and then like this mage, this wizard, comes in and steals this giant magical crystal from the kingdom, from the king, and he lost his throne topper, which really tied the room together. Shout out to anybody who gets that reference. But from there, you have to essentially it's a beat 'em up. So you just go from left to right, out of the castle, through the next whatever level after level after level.
Get your ass kicked so many times.
Oh yeah.
You will not. If you're expecting to play this game and not die, let me tell you are sadly mistaken.
Oh yeah,
you're sadly mistaken.
You literally cannot perfect run this game from the first time you start it. There's no way that you can go from there to the end of the game.
Yeah, you got to be like Vegeta, right? Every time you almost die, you level up and you get more power until you just become a Super Saiyan, and then fucking your power level's 1,000,000 and you're throwing planets at each other.
It's roguelike, I guess, because like every time you die, you take the XP that you gained and you get skill points, and you have I think it's 4 bars that you can increase. So you have like the top one is your strength, mm-hmm. and that affects, the more you level that up, the harder you hit. Mm-hmm. And then under that you have your magic. And then the thing I find cool about that is as you progress the magic, you unlock different spells that you can do. And then you also increase the range at which you can do those spells. So like in the beginning, like say I played as the fire guy, I could shoot a fireball like 10 pixels ahead of me. Like it was
something
nothing.
Like that.
Yeah.
It was super small, and it's like you don't. It's almost useless to use magic at the beginning, but
yeah. But then, like, towards the end of the game, once I had that all maxed out, like you saw when I was playing with you, like, it literally takes up the entire screen. You can't see what's going on.
It's so great.
And then under that, you have your health and defense. So I guess it doesn't hurt as much when you take a hit, and you also have more health points. And then under that, you have your speed and agility, which I guess helps with the bow, but I never really used it.
And it's for speed, like getting from one place to the other, like actually moving across the screen, if I understand right, yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I guess because I never really leveled it up that much, it didn't really have that much of a difference to me.
Me neither.
Like all my points went into magic and strength. Like I was a tank, but I had you could hit me with a feather, I'd probably die. I'm amazed I beat the game.
I'm like my ice guy who's got his defense maxed out to the top, and he's still dying like crazy. Fucking, oh god, that sand level. Those fucking what are they?
The scorpion things?
No, not the scorpion things. The dung beetle things that go underground and they go across the screen. Oh my god, they pissed me off so much.
So you know what? With that being said, like going into that, let's get into the gripes that we have about the game first. Sure. What do you think of that?
Sure.
Yeah, you go for it. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a few things that I don't like, right? First off, and this is kind of a hard one for anybody to really do anything about, but the way that the magic works, it's amazing when you're using it. If you're single player, you use magic, you're going across the screen, you're destroying everything in your path. Like my ice guy, the great part about the ice is that it freezes the enemies in place. So you can go and attack them or just you don't have to worry about as many. But if you're playing multiplayer and you got multiple people throwing fucking fireballs and gas balls and rainbow balls and ice bolts all over the damn place, you can't see a damn thing.
Yeah.
You can't, because you're looking, and the enemy that you're looking at now is covered in whatever magic is being thrown at it. Okay, sure, that enemy's probably going to die in a fiery, flaming death doom, but you can't tell what the hell you're hitting. And that actually leads me to my second gripe, is that when you're playing multiplayer, it is very hard to keep track of your character.
Absolutely.
It's insane. You think you're fighting the guy, but in reality, you're way off on the other side. Am I hitting him? Am I doing it, Dad?
The amount of times that we would be all playing together, and I would literally think that I'm like doing the most and getting the most kills and XP. Meanwhile, I finally zoned, like I tuned back in mentally, and I see myself up in the top corner of the screen swinging at nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, how long have I been doing this?
I've done that so many times. I'll be thinking that I'm your character because at first I was playing as Red Guy, which I think you were playing Red first too.
Originally, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm watching your character. You're like, yeah, I'm hitting him. Why is he not? I just did a Y. Why is that not happening? Then I realize I'm the same thing. I'm looking the other way. I'm like trying to get off of the screen as I'm trying to attack the wall. Like,
dude, playing this game multiplayer is like the equivalent of like when you're a kid and you have your older brother or something like that give you the controller that's not plugged in, and you just like you think you're doing something but you're really not.
It's so true.
That's what it feels like sometimes to play multiplayer in this game.
Yeah, and if you've never played this, it's very 2.5D, I guess, is almost what it is. It's not even. It's
2D.
It is 2D.
It's 2D.
Yeah, but so you can go up and down, left and right, across the screen.
Classic beat 'em up style.
Yeah, exactly. Classic beat 'em up. But the way the enemy is, you have to be specifically on top of them in just the right way, so that way you can actually hit him. If you're too far above him, you're not going to hit him. Too far below, you're not going to hit him.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you how many times I'm like, okay, I can take out all these enemies in one shot with my ice, and I go and I shoot, and it's right fucking next to him, and I'm
or you thread the needle between like 3 guys.
Oh my gosh! Like if it was a game of skill, I have failed miserably.
Yeah, and like that's another thing. Like too, with that is with the melee combat, I found that, because you have, playing on the Switch, you have your X button does the light attack, and then the Y button does your heavy attack.
Yeah.
When you could be standing right in front of an enemy, literally right in front of them, pressing X, and you're doing your fast attack, you're not touching them. But that's because they are just slightly above or below the position that you're in, and it takes time for you to stop attacking, move, and get in line with them.
Oh, yeah.
And in that time, they've moved. Or shot an arrow at you, and we will get to that.
The fuck?
We will get to that.
Oh.
But I found that my strategy with doing that exact problem or overcoming that situation is to just use the heavy attack. When you first come up to an enemy, just heavy attack them, because at least with my character, the heavy attack was a sweeping motion. So you would hit whatever's beneath you, in front of you, above you, and at least if you knock them back, you just bought yourself another second to reposition yourself.
Yeah. And I think you might actually, not to
you're good,
but I think you have that backwards, right? So I think the light attack is actually side to side, and then the heavy attack is just overhead.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm thinking like, I'm going to do more damage by doing the heavy attack. In reality, when I first started, right, I'm doing the heavy attack just overhead, and I'm not hitting shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm falling into the same exact trap. So I went back, and you actually told me this. Oh yeah, use the sweeping one, the I think it's X or whatever the control is, but use the sweeping one to actually like hit them better, and that made a world of difference.
Yeah, because like I said, it'll at least buy you a second, and that'll work great until they start shooting at you. Want to get into that?
You know what, Rob? You seem like you have a little bit more of a hatred for this. I can just kind of see it in your eyes. So I'm going to let you vent. I'll be your therapist. The mic will be your audience.
The amount of time I spent laid on my back due to these fucking arrows. You know what? I would have something else to say about that, but I don't want to get canceled right away. So it was. Oh my god. So essentially, what'll happen, and I was especially finding this issue in some of the later Colosseums, which we'll get into that later. But during the thieves area, where they're shooting a lot of arrows at you, during the fire, like the volcano area, where they're shooting a lot of fireballs at you, and then during the snow area, where it's literally an entire screen of snowballs coming at you.
Yup.
You can't do shit. So I'll start with the thieves area, right? So the thieves area, you got these little hooded Robin Hood looking idiots.
Asshole face looking.
Yeah, they literally do look, their face looks like
puckered up like they're trying to hold some shit in. Like, what is this?
Hey, they're talking shit. But yeah, so anyway, these thieves, what'll happen is you'll get like 3 or 4 of them that come up to you and they're trying to whack you with whatever weapon they got, swords, whatever.
Fuckers.
And then you'll also have like 2 outside of them, but on either side of you, you'll have one on your left and one on your right, and one will shoot an arrow at you and it'll hit you backwards. And as soon as you get hit with a projectile of any kind in this game, it knocks you down. It makes you like it shoots you back. You have like a like an old like Castlevania style or like Ninja Gaiden style, like it knocks you backwards and then you're laying down on your back. And then you go to get up, and as soon as you get up, the other motherfucker throws an arrow at you.
You don't even have time to put up your shield to block the shit.
No. And that is the only thing that can stop the arrow from affecting you is the shield.
Yeah.
Any magic, any arrow can be stopped by holding your shield up. But it's not only a problem of reaction time, because even if you want to get up right away and hold your, like, I will be holding the left trigger while I'm on the ground so that as soon as I get up, it pulls my shield out. And it still screws me over.
Oh, yeah.
That is the only real cheap death I can think of in this entire game.
Yeah. And I am 100% there. And if my wife was here, she would 100% agree, because she has listened to me scream at the game at the top of my lungs like a whiny little 12-year-old, and I have listened to her scream at the game at the top of her lungs like a 12-year-old.
And let's be clear though, that's like the only part in the game. That's the only thing about this entire game that'll get us all to be like that, because otherwise it's a very nice game.
Yes.
It's very polished. Even that bullshit feature is very polished.
Yeah. It's like they took time to fuck you.
Yeah. They bought you dinner first. So
they used some KY.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry, shit.
Anyway, but so you go from that to then you go up to the fire area. It's kind of the same shebang, no pun intended, with the fireballs. But then you get over to the snow area, and this is end game content, so it's gonna be a little hard no matter what. Mm-hmm. We're gonna probably get into some spoilers with this game. The game is 15 years old, and you know, if you haven't played it by now, it's not very story heavy. No. I would just recommend go playing it.
Yeah, you play through the levels and you get the story. There's nothing. It's given to you as you go through the levels.
It's rescue the princess, whatever. The thing that you want to play this game for, that we can't do justice with, is the visuals. Mm-hmm. Some of them, like the art style in this game, is fantastic. But we'll get into all that.
We will. Now, before you continue, one last gripe.
Yes.
Along with like what you're saying. You remember that fucking alien level?
I loved it.
I loved the alien level when you weren't getting blasted to shit by those stupid fucking blasters they have.
Yeah, okay.
And I apologize so much for cursing, but if you've got 2 people, 3 people, you're going at it from either side, okay, it's fine. But as soon as like one of them gets a hit on you, it's done. You're just back and forth.
Yeah, especially because there's like 50 of them on the screen at one time.
Yes. But it really is fun to one-hit all of those little bastards after they've knocked you on your ass.
Yeah. And I will say, like, I think the reason that level didn't bother me as much is because I think by that point in the game, my magic was already leveled up. So I would all I was literally doing at that point in the game was turning left and right and blasting my magic. Yeah. And it was just knocking everybody away.
Yeah.
Because the magic, even from the enemies, it can't go up and down. It can only go in a straight line, left or right. Yeah. So as long as I beat them to the punch, I win.
Suck it, Turk.
But, to go back to get into the snow level, and I'll make this quick, but when you get into the snow level, and you remember this, the first couple areas in the snow level, you're walking through the North Pole, essentially, mm-hmm. and there's ground units that come up and they start attacking you with melee weapons, whatever, but then on the very right side of the screen, there's multiple, like, snow fort and like, snow towers and whatever. And they are just consistently throwing snowballs across the screen. They just, it makes like a grid system. You have to somehow dodge it. So, mm-hmm. Yeah, if you get caught in the middle of the screen and you get hit by one of those snowballs, not only do you get knocked down and you have a screen of snowballs to get back up to, but you also have like 4 other guys coming to attack you with swords. Mm-hmm. So it's like when you do get up, you're just getting your ass kicked. It is so easy to die there.
Oh, yeah.
But Sorry. Go.
No, you're good. You're good, and I believe it. I believe it because it's the same thing. I'm thinking of different levels where it's the same idea. There's one where they have like a trebuchet of arrows that just keep going at you, and if you don't have your shield up while that's happening,
oh right,
that's not even that's too far away from it because that's kind of a consistent. This is like enemy AI throwing things at random at you almost.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, but I do get exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah, the only thing that I could find to get through that easily enough was to walk across the very top of the screen. So like when you finish with an area and it tells you to go to the next area, I found that walking to the very top of the screen and walking along the top edge of the screen where they can't throw snowballs and then getting behind them and kind of breaking their snow forts and then walking down and breaking all their snow forts in a line. Because as soon as you break their snow fort, then they're just another melee enemy. Right,
yeah. They drop down, then they have to be on their back while you... Never mind. I'm not going to say it. I've cursed enough today. I'm going to curse more, but I've cursed enough today.
So, I mean, that's really all the gripes I have is just the fact that, like you said it earlier, when you're multiple players, or like when you're playing multiplayer and you're all using magic at the same time, because it's a 2D beat 'em up game, you really can't see.
No.
So that, and then the arrows, really, those are my only gripes. Other than that, there's a lot more that I love about this game that we haven't even talked about.
No, yeah, we haven't scratched the surface.
No. And, I mean, what would you say is one of the most standout features to you in this game? What did you love the most, would you say?
It's a toss-up, really. I mean, I would have to say my favorite part about both of the Behemoth games that I played, right, Castle Crashers and Battle Block, is the visuals. Mm-hmm. Because it's, to steal Robert's favorite word here, it's incredibly charming. It's incredibly charming. It's this cute game where you just see you can see it even in the artwork for the game, right, that's up on the wiki. But he's super angry, but you can see his eyeballs are like massive when it's normally just like a dot on his face. But it's, they add so much expression using a small amount of detail to just show so much more. And it's great how they add these just adorable little features to it in this art style itself to show you, hey, you actually did damage to this dude. He's hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
It's really fantastic. My other absolute favorite part of this, and I wish I had gotten into the magic sooner, but it's the magic. It truly, I think the ice guy, I think I chose wrong when I did the ice guy. Honestly, I love the fact that it freezes the enemies in place.
Yeah.
But the green dude, if I had leveled up his magic more, I feel like would have been an absolute powerhouse because he does a DOT effect where he poisons the enemy.
Oh.
Because 1 per second or 1 damage per second or something like that. But I don't know anything more than just kind of the first just the first level that he had, because like I said, I just didn't really level him up all that much.
Yeah.
But it just seems like that attack alone, the DOT, like you could take out waves of enemies.
That'll be good for the alien level for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I originally chose the electric guy, but I ended up switching over to the fire guy when I heard your wife talking about it, and I was like, this sounds fun. So I just made, that kind of goes into something that I really love about the game, and that's the amount of character selection you have. So, as far as I know, there's 31 playable characters in this game.
Are there really that many?
I've read. Yeah, I heard somewhere that there was 31 playable characters in the game. I could look it up on the wiki, but I don't care right now.
We're doing a fucking podcast. See,
yeah, I mean, hey, anybody, if message me and tell me I'm wrong. But yeah, you unlock the characters as you go through the game. So I don't know exactly how it works. I know that as you complete certain levels, you'll unlock characters. And also, when you finish the alien level, you unlock the alien character. When you unlock the first level, like the keep or the castle level, you unlock the white guy.
Yeah. When you beat the game, you get another character depending on which one.
Yeah, depending on who you beat the game as, I believe you unlock another character. And then when you do the Colosseums or the arenas.
Oh, that too. I haven't beaten the Colosseums. I played them, but I didn't actually get a chance to beat them. So
Yeah, I did the first 2 or 3. I know I did the first 2. I don't know if I actually beat the third one or not. But the third one I think proved to be more of a challenge because of those stupid arrows. But anyway, I digress. The first 2, yeah, I unlocked different characters once I beat those 2, and then each character in this game has its own special ability. So like, as we've talked about, the blue guy has the ice, the red guy has the electricity, the orange guy has the fire, the pink person has the rainbows, and it's just
and
cute.
Shoots out little stuffed animals that just go.
Yeah, and that one, as far as I know, is the only one whose bow and arrow looks different. It's like 8-bit hearts and shit. It's funny,
really great.
But so that's one thing that I absolutely love about the game. Another thing, to go along with the visuals that you're talking about, it's one of my favorite things about this game is everything that's going on in the background.
Oh, yeah. So
you see it pretty early on as you're walking through the woods and the poop. You know, it's like just to start with that. So there's a section in the game. It's like the 3rd or 4th level or something like that. And or 3rd or 4th like area you walk into. It's really early on.
It's so childish.
It's approaching like the second, I guess, the second or third major boss in the game. And as you're walking through these woods, there's like every time you come across an animal in a tree, there's this loud pounding that's going on. It shakes the whole screen, whatever. And then this, whatever animal's in the back, it just gets spooked. First starts with an owl, and the owl like just fire hydrants crap out of the tree. It's hilarious. And like, we're 12. We're laughing at poop jokes.
Yes,
but
yes. This game is definitely for you if you have not matured above the age of 12.
Yeah. And then you get to the next screen, and there's a there's a deer. So this deer it's like standing on the right side of the screen facing you, and the screen shakes and it rumbles and whatever. And then the deer, there's like a little cliff kind of behind the deer, and this deer starts crapping aggressively, so aggressively that it literally like rocket propels itself across the screen.
The sound effects too.
And my favorite part about that deer is that later in the game, like at the end of the game, when you're fighting, I think it's the full moon level, you're on top of the cliff fighting these monsters. And literally in the background, you see this silhouette of a deer shitting itself literally into orbit like, as it goes across the moon.
It's straight up ET. It just goes.
It's like, okay, not only do we have poop jokes, but we have poop jokes with continuity.
This is for the adult child.
It's just like the little details in this game the entire time of like what's going on in the background. It's so funny. And if you haven't played this game, or if you did play it and you didn't pay attention, I implore you, go back, watch it, just play it and see what's going on. It is so funny, some of the stuff that's going on in this game.
What's great is you're saying about the deer. It's not even just that those are the only 2 times. In the same level where you first meet the deer, you get the option of hopping onto that deer to run away from the giant fur creature.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not even just that, like, all of the other deer are running as it's going, but this one is just rocket propelled across the screen.
I don't think I noticed that. That's funny. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This game is childish, but it's so much fun.
It really is.
It really, I mean, I don't like beat 'em up games. Mm-hmm. I've tried playing like the old Streets of Rage. I've tried playing like I actually don't know if I've played Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I know that I've played my fair share of like old arcadey classic beat 'em up games. I never played TMNT. I've never played I don't know if Double Dragon, is that a beat 'em up? I actually don't know. Anyway,
I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's probably the generation before me, but whatever. But I've never been a fan, really, of that genre. And this is, I gotta say, probably the first game in this genre that really stuck with me.
What's up? I actually have an idea for another game that we will talk about after the podcast.
Okay.
I think we might have talked about this before, but we'll talk about it later. We'll step into my office.
Okay.
Which is technically your studio still, but anyway.
That's okay. Step into my Discord, sir. But, yeah, to continue in, like, what we like about the game, I mean, I gotta say, like, it's not a big game. It's not a really long game. The only thing that gives it so much, time investment is the fact that you die so much and you have to start levels over. But every time you die, you get to put in your skill points, and it's a fun game. Oh, you know what else I do love about this game? Actually, is the boss fights.
Oh, some of them are fantastic, aren't they?
Different boss fights are actually affected by different elements that you use, different characters. So, like, you were fighting the corn boss.
Yeah.
The giant corn boss. And you said that you were having trouble with it because you couldn't magic it. Well, magic was the only way that I was able to really beat it, and that's because I was the fire guy.
Yep.
And I was able to literally turn him into popcorn, and I thought that was genius.
That was fantastic. At the same time you're beating him up, you're actually getting health back.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, it's a giant ear of corn. You're in a cornfield, and you're fighting a giant ear of corn who's wearing tighty whities. And he has the power to, like, go in the ground and then sprout up wherever he wants to on the map. Yeah. And eventually, like, you'll learn the attack pattern. But every time he would sprout up, I would use my fire guy and I would launch magic at him, and it would cause popcorn kernels to pop off of his body, which I could then run up to and collect, and it would give me some health.
Yeah. It's a little minuscule amount of health, but...
Yeah, it's like 1 per corn, but he'll drop like 10 corn at a time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just, like, that was clever.
Yes.
That was clever.
And what I think is cool about that, too, I hope I'm not interrupting you there.
You're good.
Okay. But what I think is clever about that, too, again, going back to the visuals, is as you're beating him up, right, you're seeing, the health bar goes down to 3/4. You're seeing some of the kernels are actually missing from him. Halfway, more of them are missing. By the time you get down to, like, barely any left... At that point, he's all over the place going like crazy. You can't see him, but when you can see him to attack him, there's like 1, maybe 2 kernels left on his actual cob.
Yeah.
And it's like the idea that, okay, you're doing damage, and this is physically what's happening. Like, they put these tiny little details in there, and that's, again, why I love those visuals so much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. And you know where the visuals really take a left turn? Is that painting boss fight. At the very end.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What the hell was that?
That was... I swear to God, they must have been high when they did that. Like, somebody must have been on some good acid or something like that.
Either that or they literally just had their kids come into the studio and were like, draw animals.
I love how wholesome you are with that. I went straight up like druggy, and you just went, child. That's 2 different kinds of people, folks.
Maybe they put the kids on the drug. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you know what? Okay, there we go. Never mind. There's one kind of person, guys.
So, anyway, we'll talk about partying later. But I'm playing. But no, that boss fight is really kind of clever because, I mean, I realized you can't melee that guy.
You try to, and he's just going to run away.
Yeah, well, that, and like, the only time you really get the chance to melee him for the first 3/4 of the battle is when he's painting. But if you're trying to melee him, as soon as he runs away from the painting jumps out of the painting and hits you. And it only takes 1 hit for that thing to, like, knock you on your butt.
Yeah.
And do whatever effect it does or doesn't do. I actually really don't know if it does an effect. I try my best to avoid them.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it doesn't affect because I tried my hardest to avoid them, but apparently I suck at evasiveness. I guess, because I got hit by, like, all of them.
And you put points into agility.
And I put points into agility.
Should've
Actually, no,
magic.
I
know you didn't?
Yeah, no, I did all magic. No, not all magic.
You did all defense.
All defense. I had my defense maxed up. I was a beefcake, but I was an iron wall. But
so you'll just get your ass kicked for longer than the rest of us.
Exactly. I don't like dying. I think it's very unfun, and painful.
Unfun.
Unfun. It's the opposite of fun.
Okay.
But I forget what I was going to say.
That's okay. I mean, if you think of it, jump back in. But yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much covers, without spoiling everything, I think that covers just about most of what I like about the game. The standout features, anyway. The The visuals, the combat is so solid. It is extremely charming. If these guys continued to make games, I would definitely buy in.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait to play Battle Block and review that one day on the show. But what do we got for time right now? It's 32 minutes. Wow,
we're already that far in.
Yeah, we're that far in. But I'm this is terrible podcasting. This is great podcasting. This is fantastic podcasting.
Don't put yourself down, Repair.
I didn't do any research for this, and I'm tired.
It's been a long day.
And I'm going on vacation next week, so we have to record another episode by next Thursday so I can have it uploaded by Friday, and God.
Caffeine.
Yeah. But, oh, you know what I want to get into? The weapons.
I was going to say that. Yes.
What? Go, please, the floor is yours.
You know what? There's so many that I haven't collected still because I'll go in and I'll look through. So for anyone who hasn't played it, you'll go back to the first starting level. And before that, there's like the little forge and there's the blacksmith that's there. And you go into there. He's got a frog tied up and attached to his anvil. I'm pretty sure he has the anvil sitting on the frog's tongue so he can't move. And the frog's mouth is open and it's just this look of horror on the frog's face. You go into the frog and that's where your weapon collection is.
Yeah, your weapon collection is literally roped up to the back wall of this frog's mouth.
This poor frog has just become an ornament. He's become a room.
He's become a storage unit.
It's what it is. But you look through, and there's so many different areas. You can go and go and go. It's I don't even know how many weapons that they have for it. But
yeah, there are a lot of weapons in this game.
Yeah, but there's so many that I haven't collected. I think, honestly, my favorite, just because I didn't get to finish building up all of my magic, was the cane. Because then I was able to get to full magic and still use it. And it's kind of like Gandalf's cane.
Okay.
You shall not pass. It's horrible. But anyway, it was just kind of my favorite for the longest time because I was able to do more magic with it. And I used that to kind of better myself with what I didn't have. And that's what's great about these weapons is that
they have buffs, right?
They have the buffs. And there's some with, for every buff, there's a debuff. Like if you get a high amount of magic, your strength is going to go down. Yeah. Or if you get one with high agility, then I don't know, like your health is going to go down or something like that. I don't think there's any that's actually like that, but just to give an idea.
Yeah.
But there's just a collection, and you can find all of these different ones with so many different buffs and debuffs, and it's kind of a typical collection style where it's, oh, hey, I got this weapon. Oh, this one's better. Oh, this one's better than this. And you just keep finding these, and they're all these like cool looking styles to them, and some of them are just some of them are just these adorable little just collector's items almost. Like my wife's favorite one was the lollipop, specifically because it matched her pink character that shot rainbows and stuffed animals.
And it's like one of the weakest weapons in the game, but you know what? She held her own.
She held her own all the way through, man.
I think at the end of the game, like, the two of us were the ones dying the most.
She's there to reviving both of us.
Yeah, she was doing fine.
Like, honey, help. Honey, help.
Yeah, there are a lot of weapons in this game, and I think it's incredible that like that adds a layer of replayability, and that's another thing. This game has a lot of replayability, but I mean, with how many different characters there are, with how many collectibles there are, like when it comes to the weapons and the pets, and we'll get to that.
We will.
The weapons alone, like, it adds a lot of replayability because it makes you want to go back through each level and see what you didn't find.
Yes.
And so there are two ways to get weapons in this game. There are the shops that you come across all throughout the game, and you can buy certain weapons throughout each shop. Then there's also weapons lying around the map that sometimes you kill an enemy and they drop their weapon, and you can pick that up. Or sometimes there's a weapon that you can pick up from, like, in the very beginning, the first level, there's a hay bale with a pitchfork sticking out of it. And if you happen to go up, you can literally just pull that pitchfork out of the hay bale and that's your new weapon. Like that, like there's so many great ways to unlock weapons in this game. But yeah, and then after you beat the game, then you unlock this extra shop where it's I forget what it's called. I think it's like the impossible shop, or like there's an impossible difficulty or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And there's a special shop that gets unlocked next to that. And that's where when I went back to help you beat the game a couple days ago.
Which, thank you for that.
Anytime. That was just to save time. That wasn't even because you needed it. It was just to save time.
Busy lives.
Yeah. But you saw that I had that giant golden harpoon looking weapon.
That was so freaking cool. I was so jealous that you had that.
Yeah, I got that at that Impossible store or whatever.
I love
it. But do you have anything else you want to say about the weapons?
Not necessarily about the weapons. I mean, if there's anything else that you wanted to add in, I actually have something. You brought up a very good point.
Go on.
That I want to... So, what I love about this game, and I don't see it anymore in a lot of AAA titles.
Yeah.
But I see it a lot in indie games and kind of small-time developers, is that this stays true to the root of gaming.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is you look at back in the early 90s when gaming was so massive then, and it was just these developers who were just doing it for the sake of enjoying making and playing games.
Yeah.
You look at this and they had all these little hidden features and they had all of these little tiny hidden spots and things that you could collect and little secrets to find for free. There wasn't a DLC.
Yeah.
There wasn't a pay to play. There wasn't anything like that. It was just them trying to add these tiny little things so that their fan base could go, oh, that's really freaking cool.
Yeah.
And that's what they did with this game, is they made replayability without having to add anything extra. And it's not that they're in it for the money. It's that they're in it for the enjoyment of making games.
Yeah. And I mean, and if you don't mind, this game came out in 2008. So that was at the very beginning kind of DLC and this is not too, this is only a couple years after the whole Oblivion horse armor, which was the first notable DLC that got people in an uproar. But I absolutely agree with you. This was they had released a game, and they were able to release this game at a time where if something needed an update or a patch, they could do that. Mm-hmm. So, but they didn't really need to, because this game was so good, it was so polished, they've made it with love and care, and they added so many fun features and unlockables. And yeah, it's back in the day when you beat a game, I mean, here, okay, perfect example. They still do it with this game. You beat the game, you unlock a character.
Yes.
And that is thunder outside. I am so sorry if this is going to be picked up on the microphone, but it is now thundering and raining, and I'll deal with it.
Thank God that thunder came in, because I had to fart really bad. That was perfect timing. Rob, I'm sorry if you smelled that.
Damn it. Yeah, so we're going to start recording over Discord.
What's wrong with me? Do you not like my smells? Do I offend you?
So anyway, when you finish this game, you unlock these characters. And it reminds me of, back in the day when you, so God of War, for example. When you beat the original, I think it was the second God of War, you unlock special costumes, and you can unlock screen filters and, fun shit that just make the game a little extra something, or when you finish the Tony Hawk games, you can unlock special levels and fucking big head mode or something like that. I don't know.
Big head mode, all the cheats and everything.
Yeah, just I can't even call it a throwback to when games were like that, because this was coming out around times where games were still doing that.
Yeah, and that actually, me saying that, I was actually mistaken. I thought that Battle Block came out first before this, and I was completely wrong. Like you said, this came out in 2008. Battle Block came out in 2013, so I was way off on that one. Battle Block, the style for Battle Block
came from
this. Yeah.
And because we played the remastered version, I don't know, I can't speak to how the original one was, because I didn't play it back in the day. But it's funny that you mentioned the Battle Block, because going into the Insane store after you beat the game, one of the unlockable characters that you can actually purchase is one of the characters from Battle Block. And you can get it for 1,200 coins or whatever it is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I gotta look for that now.
Yeah, so you can actually go in there, and that's where I bought that special weapon, but you can also unlock different pets, and you can also get a secret character, which is the Battle Block guy.
That's so cool. I love this game, man. I really do.
It's just fun, and this game could go forever. This game has ultimate infinite replayability. You could just keep going through it with different characters and just figure out what every character does and different powers. And
what's cool about it is And one thing I just kind of like realized as you're going through, like the replayability, it's one of those games where it's as casual as you want it to be.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's fast-paced combat, but that makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that you have to have a high amount of skill. I mean, yeah, once you get to the later levels, but you develop that skill at that point.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to go to those levels, you can go back and replay the old games. I'm sorry, I have like a sneeze. This is awkward. Anyway, so you can go back to the other levels and you can play those to kind of like build up your confidence or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep going and grinding at this. And it kind of throws it back to the idea of it's not a bad thing if you die either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's actually good if you do, because then you can level up and come back to it.
Yeah.
And then beat the crap out of the guys who pissed you off with those fucking arrows.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Ooh. Sorry, I just watched Fred bump his elbow.
That was not funny.
Funny for me. But, yeah, no, you could definitely, I like that you're not locked into the level that you're in. You can always exit the map. Sure, you might lose whatever XP or money you got from that level, but it's like, you know what? Okay, I realize I'm not ready for this. Let me back out. Let me go back a few levels. I'll kill that boss a few times, get some money. Maybe I need to get some money from the first couple bosses. I can go buy a new weapon. Maybe that'll help me because the weapon buffs.
Yes.
Or maybe I need to buy a new pet. And now I want to get into the pets a little bit.
Yeah, let's, by all means, start us off.
So when you're at the blacksmith, you have your frog armory, and then to the left of that, you also have Noah's Ark. And that's literally what it is. It's this giant boat that's got every animal inside it. And so the animals in this game are little floating ball companions. They look like basketball-sized, little companions, and they float with you.
Adorable fucking things.
Yeah, they're so cute. And each one has its own individual perk, I guess you could say. And so, like, the one that I like to walk around with the most is the giraffe. The giraffe gets you, 50% more XP or whatever it is per kill.
The giraffe is adorable. The giraffe is definitely, like, that's, I wish I had found that one, because, like, I'm seeing your character go along with it. I'm like, I want it.
And that's actually the one that you unbury in the desert when you get the shovel.
Oh, you were saying about that, too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, like, they give you the shovel, but I had never really found a reason for it.
Yeah, I saw, like, when, so sidetrack a little bit, but, like, when I saw that when I got the shovel, the description for the shovel or whatever, it literally says X marks the spot. So I'm like, where the hell in this game am I even able to dig up anything? And then just by thinking, I was like, well, sand, I guess. And where the hell is there sand? Oh, the desert. So I go in the desert and I start walking around, and sure enough, I start seeing these little X's on the ground that I thought were just part of the map. And I was like, what if I just dig right where these are?
I know what you're talking about, too.
Yeah, because I thought they were like, where the enemies died or came out or something. I thought they were just part of the map, which I guess they were. But so I started unburying stuff, and like money would come out, like food would come out, and then all of a sudden I got this giraffe, and I was like, oh, I know what you are. And with that being said, there's so many different animals that you can collect throughout this game. And like the first one that you collect, it's hidden right behind a bush, but it's got like musical notes coming out from the bush. You're like, what the hell is that? And you walk back there and you just pick up this little, I don't even remember what it was.
I think it's the bird.
Oh yeah, because it collects food from the trees and shit, and like it brings you health items.
Yeah.
And yeah, like as you progress through the game, like there's different bosses, and you kill different bosses, and you get their animals, like the goat you get from killing that whirling dervish of a teddy bear.
Oh, that pain in the ass.
That was such a shit fight in the first time we did it.
That really was.
And then like you kill the bat, and you get the little bat guy, and then like there's a bunch of different little things that you collect throughout the game. And then when you go into the Ark, there's one that's like up above everything, kind of looking down on you. It's like a little Shiba Inu dog. And you need to... Now, this is where I think is kind of cool.
He's on the wiki there, yeah.
He is on the wiki, yeah. So you need to actually level up your magic to a certain point so that you can unlock the magic jump. And that's how you are able to jump up high enough to get that.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Yeah. And you know what I actually noticed after I beat the game and I went back and I saw in that Ark, there's a door with a gold lock on it.
Yep, right by the Shiba that thing.
Yeah, but like I totally overlooked that. I just brushed it under the rug the entire time. What the hell is in there?
We gotta find that out.
I gotta be able to get in there. I think that's the primary thing that's keeping me going while playing this game. Like I need to know.
That's like the big secret behind this game. Like there's I'm sure there's plenty others, right? There's the collection, there's finding all the swords, there's getting all the characters, but no, we gotta find out what's beyond that door.
Yeah, like I kind of want to Google it to see if it's worth my time, but at the same time, I'm just enjoying playing the game.
Don't Google it. Just enjoy playing it.
Yeah, because like there's got to be some golden key somewhere, or like something to. We've collected everything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's after we collect all the animals, so maybe I have to keep playing to get money to buy all the animals. Or find all the animals, because I think I've found them all. I just think I need to buy the rest.
You collect all the animals, you open the door, and it's just the deer shitting.
Dude, I would laugh so hard if I just unlock that door and there's this diarrhea-propelled deer comes blasting out of it. Oh my god.
Oh, and I wouldn't put it past him either. That would be perfect. That would just make sense for this game.
That would be similar to like the Breath of the Wild collecting like the 900 seeds. Yeah, the correct seeds. And then being literally given a golden piece of crap. Except this would be funnier.
Yes, yeah. And going back to like just the humor of the game. There's so you go, there's like 4 princesses. I'm pretty sure there's only 4. And
so, yeah.
Yeah, and you go through all of them. Now, if you're playing multiplayer, the cool thing about yeah, you know where I'm going with this. You go and at the end of the boss fight, you fight each other, and whoever wins gets to kiss the princess.
Yeah.
And the greatest part about that is we're playing with my wife through some of this, and I'm just like looking over at her. I'm like, honey, do you mind if I kiss the princess? And she's like, yeah, go for it. It's fun.
Yeah, and then after like the 5th time, like, because we kept going back, but like after like the whatever umpteenth time that we did it, and like you're just making it your goal to kick all our butts, and I just literally said, wow, all this to kiss another woman. And it's just like, it's just fun, like the little things you can say with your friends.
Yeah, and then there's you go through and you've got all 4 princesses. You get the first 3, you get the kiss from them, and you finally beat the game after you get rid of that stupid wizard. Who's a
spoiler alert. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
No, it's okay. The wizard, but like, okay. So let's right here. I'm gonna throw this out there to those of you who haven't beaten the game. Skip ahead like 5 minutes, because we're just gonna talk about the end of the game right here. We're gonna spoil some stuff. We're gonna spoil the ending.
Yeah.
So with that being said, go for it.
Here's a quick second for you to go. And now I'm starting. So you finish the wizard with that pain in the ass fight, which really great.
It was a cool boss fight.
That was a really cool boss fight. And all like the way that you like beat all of those, the paint guy, you beat the
It's a gauntlet to get to the boss.
It's a gauntlet, and like some of them are pains in the ass.
Yeah.
But you get to that boss fight, and this isn't where I want to go with this. I want to.
No, I understand. I'm sorry.
And it's all good. It's like I want to get there.
There's so much we want to talk about.
So much. But after you finish it all, and you get to the final princess, and one last time, just for nostalgia's sake, you fight everybody and you win.
Yeah, like this is after the credits. Like you're now back in the castle, and everybody's throwing a celebration, and then this is masked princess, and I'm sorry.
Exactly. You've got the masked princess, and it's like, oh, this is the final princess. This is going to be this great romantic scene where it's like you beat the game, and this is your reward. You go, you beat all of your friends. You put them on their back, and you beat them all.
You lift the veil.
You go over, you lift the veil, and you go for the kiss. And what do you get? A fucking clown in your face.
It's literally like this big fucking clown with like a green afro and just starts dancing.
It just starts dancing, and it's like they make it such a troll to you as you're doing it too, because it's like it's not just like haha surprise. No, they make it the ending of the fucking game.
It's like a 45-second dance number where like penguins start coming across the screen, hearts start flying everywhere.
I don't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised if that fucking deer was in there too. Like,
it's like a psychedelic trip of just like this clown dancing.
It really is, and it's just like, ha!
Thanks for playing our game, sucker.
Oh, I love how lighthearted they keep this game.
It was so much fun, and I can't tell you how many times I've actually watched that clown. Yeah, because like I go back to fight that one, not the painting boss, but the one right after the coffin guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I keep going back to fight him because once you beat the game, you can walk back into whatever hallway you want. So you can just keep repeating the same fight. And I found that I can fight that guy without taking a hit.
Nice.
So if I just continuously beat that fight, I can get like $2,000 super fast. And then I can go buy the weapon I got, which was like 1,300 or whatever, it's like, then you can go buy the more expensive items.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been grinding that boss fight, but I'm afraid that if I finish that boss fight and then leave, like exit to map, I'm going to lose the money. So what I do is I go and I beat the final boss fight again, that like, 6-stage final boss fight.
That they really did a good job on that.
It was so good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because like he starts out. So like, okay, real quick. So yeah, I finished that boss fight. I go and I beat the final boss again. Then I got to sit through 3 minutes of not 3 minutes, but it's like a minute of credits, and then I go back into the castle and I kiss the fucking clown.
The clown.
And then call it a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've beaten that final boss like probably 5 times by now. But what was I gonna say? Oh, the 3 boss fights, I guess, or
yeah. Let's go through those final boss fights. Yeah.
Okay, so the first final boss fight, so after you beat the ice guy, and
that pain in the ass wizard,
the ice guy.
The wizard, the ice wizard dude, where he's like he does the cracks in the floor.
Oh yeah,
you have to avoid all of them. And,
see, it's so funny because like in single player, I didn't have any problem with that guy.
Really?
I was done with him in like a minute.
Really?
Yeah, I think when you're playing a multiplayer, message me, prove me wrong, but I think when you're playing multiplayer, the bosses have more HP.
That would make sense.
And yeah, that one I didn't really have any struggle with in single player. I was done with it like really fast. But I also figured out his pattern pretty quickly, and I don't know, maybe it's my fire against his ice. I was able to just, wreck him.
Yeah, because I was ice versus ice, so that would make sense.
Yeah, but
don't use the ice guy, Phils.
Do early on. But yeah, so anyway, like when you're done with him, then the next level you go to is the Wizard's Tower. So you go over to the Wizard's Tower, and then there's this cool little level cutscene where you like rocket jump up to the Wizard's Tower because it lifts off the ground, and now it's the sky.
They make it so cinematic.
It's so cool.
It really is.
Yeah. And once you get into the Wizard's Tower, as you're walking through, you fight these guys that they're pretty tough. Like for me anyway, I can only hit them with melee because my magic did like 1 damage to them. I think it was actually your wife's character, the rainbow character, was the one that was able to actually damage them with magic.
The irony of it. She was trying so hard to use her magic, and it was decent, right? It was decent throughout all of it. And hi, honey, I love you. You're my favorite.
So... yeah, and it's so funny because like she was level 26, 28, while we were level like 44 and 38 or something like that.
Yeah, like we were significantly higher than her.
Yeah, and she didn't, I don't think she went down once.
No.
The whole time.
You and I definitely did.
Oh, I was down like every 30 seconds.
Yeah, I remember I had to save your ass a bunch of times.
Yeah, no, I kept falling, and I kept forgetting to buy stupid health potions because, whatever. But
yeah.
But yeah, so like the first boss that you come across up in the Wizard's Tower is the painting boss.
Yeah.
And we already kind of went over this, so I'll just blast right through it real quick. But it's this guy, and he looks like a painter, but not like a painter like Da Vinci or anything like that. No, he looks like a commercial like contractor painter, and he's got like a toolbox for a head. It's kind of funny. Like he looks like he's ready to send you a quote for painting your bedroom.
Yes. And it's what's great. I still don't know what he says, but he has this robotic voice that says some kind of line, but I have no idea what it is.
I don't know what he's saying.
It's so random. Everything about that level is so random.
Oh yeah, yeah. He paints on this canvas, and the things that he paints, these like child's drawings, they come to life. They come jumping out of the painting, and then they try to walk to attack you. They don't do a lot of damage, but they knock you down.
Yeah.
And so you beat him. That's fine. The next fight is this. He looks like early on in the game, you crash this wedding, and there's a guy, this like king of thieves or whatever the hell he is, and he takes the princess and runs, and he's like this cyclops looking creature.
Yes. This
guy looked like that guy, but in like an Undertaker form, like he was dead and he came out of the ground and he had a coffin with him. Yeah. And in this coffin there was a little dead guy that was really fast and he would chase you around. I
think the idea behind that, I think they were the same boss. I think it's just he was like they both were the undead version. Because if you remember, when you kill there's the main dude who's like having the wedding with the princess.
Yeah.
And he's playing the piano and shooting bombs. You kill him, his brother, the big dude, he comes in and takes his brother that is now dead, and he's mourning over him. You go and you fight him.
Oh, No.
And then there's the Terminator scene at the end, like after you beat the big dude, and he's falling down and he just goes, and he throws up the thumbs up as he's like finishing down.
And maybe the guy that's coming out of the coffin was the one that you. Oh
yeah.
shit!
Because if you remember, there's the coffin that's in that
you're right.
Other fight too.
Yeah, there's a whole segment afterwards where you're on the carriage, like that's like the wedding carriage or whatever, but like the dead bodies. Oh man, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Makes you think, don't it? Shout out to anybody who gets that reference.
Well, damn. Okay, so that just adds a layer.
There you go.
Nice. Okay, I love that. So then, wow, that kind of got me. All right, cool. So then, yeah. So after that boss fight, and that one's the easy one. That's the one that I'll go back and I'll do multiple times to get a bunch of money. And then after that one, you go to this other boss fight, and this one is a proper mini boss. This one is like, you would expect to do this fight right before the final boss fight of the game, because it's like this evil Bat Knight looking guy.
Oh yeah.
And he's on the front page of the wiki, but he's like a necromancer, and you're in this room that's covered wall to wall in dead bodies of all the different enemies that you fought.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah. So you're in this room where there's bodies covering the floor wall to wall, and they're all the different bodies of all the different enemy types you've come across in the game.
Yeah.
So this guy, the actual main boss, he's reviving all of these different enemies that you fought throughout the game, and you have to fight your way through every single type of enemy pretty much that you fought throughout the game.
Yeah.
Minus the major bosses. And then once you've killed all of them, then you fight this guy and you're done. You get through it. Then you get to the final boss fight.
Now, excuse me. I wonder, with that necromancer boss, I wonder, and I wouldn't be surprised, and this would make sense, if he's the one who revived the brothers that you fight just previously. I wonder if that's why they're undead and back to life.
Oh, maybe.
You know?
So now we're really getting into the theory, the nitty gritty. Conspiracies about a 15-year-old Newgrounds game that we could probably just easily look at on the wiki, but we're going to have some fun with this.
Fuck the wiki. Who needs that?
It's more fun this way.
Darn right it is.
But, yeah, so then after that, you go up to the main boss fight, and that fight, you know, and it's, again, still spoiler cast again. I don't know if anybody tuned back in, if anybody actually skipped, but to get into that fight, it's like a 6-phase boss fight, and it starts with, like, these red crystals that the guy, the mage, the wizard summons, and there's these 4 crystals, and they spin real fast, and then they lunge at you intermittent times.
Slam into the ground on top of you.
Yeah, and then while they're stuck in the ground, you have to, you know, beat them or hit them or whatever and break them. Once you break all 4, boss fight, or the wizard jumps down, and he does the, I think that's the shield, right? So, like,
yes.
he's got a blue shield, and when he's got a blue shield on him, he's throwing these projectiles at you, and you can hit him with magic.
Yes.
Then when he gets a red shield, magic won't have an effect. You have to go up and you have to melee hit him, because if you hit him with magic during the red shield, it'll do damage to all your party members.
Yes.
Same with the blue shield, vice versa. If you hit him with melee with the blue shield, it does damage to all your party members.
Yeah, I almost killed everybody. I won't even lie. I'll take that L.
I didn't even know that was a feature until I played multiplayer, and I was like, wait, why am I dying?
Yeah, my bad.
It's all good. So then after that, he turns into a piñata, and he floats around in the air for a little while, and you have to beat him up. And then you're done. Then a chest pops up.
Or are you?
You go to open the chest like you've done 30 other times throughout this game to get the money, to get the reward, and all of a sudden this giant spider-looking wizard thing creature comes popping out of the chest, and now you're in, like, what, phase 4? So now you got to fight this giant spider-looking thing, and it gets a little creepy.
A little is an understatement there.
It's just, you're really not expecting it, you know? When you first did it, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't mind spiders, but I was like, Jesus, I didn't see that coming. And so you beat that up, and then he goes back to being a piñata. Yeah. Yep. And then so you defeat that. Now you're going into phase 6 of the boss fight. He pulls out this, like, magical lava dog sword thing.
That's it, yep.
And now it's just like kind of any other boss fight you've played in the game, just a little faster, and he's trying to do these, like, you know, fire spells, and he's bringing meteors down on you, and
the somersault thing.
Yeah. Somersault Blade. That's the only thing that would like kill me.
The bane of Rob's existence.
Ah, you're stupid. No, the bane of my existence, and I'm going to go back for a second, is the fucking arrows in that.
Everyone, I just want you to know this is how Rob truly feels.
Oh my god. The fucking arrows. Right before the last room before you get to the ice boss, when you have to cross that skinny bridge.
Oh, that was the stupidest thing ever.
What the hell was that?
That was such a pain in the ass, man.
So, okay, we're done spoiling shit. Like, we're just gonna go back to regular boss fights now, but...
And spoilers over.
You know, that was like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
sorry to anybody who got there in mid-spoiler.
Yeah, enjoy it. Go play the game. You'll love it.
Yeah.
But, so we gotta start wrapping this up. But,
yeah.
So there's this bridge that you have to cross right before the end of the snow area. So the room right before you walk into the main boss fight.
Yeah.
And you walk in, there's a skinny bridge. It does this little cutscene, and it's this long, skinny bridge. And all you can do on this bridge is jump up and down. That's all you can do. And in this cutscene...
Can't go left to right or anything like that.
Yeah, you can't go like up or down. But so like... In this cutscene, it shows, okay, you got the main, wizard ice boss guy down at the end, and he's going to throw these magical, attacks on you that you have to jump over. Fine. Then there's also 3 archers that are standing on top of each other, and they're going to shoot these arrows at you, and you have to block them with your shield. So now you have to do, like, split-second decision-making to hold up your shield to block the arrow, and then jump over the thing, and it's random at what's going to come at you next.
Yeah.
And also, not to mention the time delay that there is between jumping and pulling up your shield. Dude, I don't know how we made it past that.
Me neither.
It is so fucking annoying.
Yeah. I think, honestly, Robert, thank you for being a sponge.
You're welcome.
You were ahead of us the entire time, and you're just taking all the day. I think it was between the two of us, and my wife's just back there like, have fun storming the castle.
Yeah, I just wanted to get far enough where like it broke up the archers and we could just get in there and kick their ass, because it was, oh my god, I hated
so
that.
Ridiculous.
Hated it.
It was stupid.
But aside from that, I loved this game. It was a lot of fun. Very, very charming, as I always like to say, for games that actually are. And it just, like I said, if you haven't played it, check it out. But with that being said, let's give it a rating.
Now, how do you want to do this rating? What are we gonna, out of what?
I was thinking out of 31 playable characters.
Out of 31 playable characters?
Yeah, pretty sure there's 31 playable characters. Let me look it up real quick. Hang on.
This is the intermission. I'm just gonna do some I'm gonna stop that now because I'm sure that's gonna get super annoying. Because it did in Monty Python.
31.
Hey, there we go.
That was right.
31.
All right. So, out of 31 playable characters in Castle Crashers, what would you rate this game?
That's a bit tough.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a high rating.
Yeah.
I'd have to say probably 28. Probably 28 out of 31.
Okay.
And I'd say that specifically because because of the art style, because of the polish, because of the
music.
Oh, the music. We didn't get into the music.
We really didn't.
Oh, there was one part where there's this like 8-bit, 16-bit style retro music there, and it was like at the beginning of the game. I swear I must have sat there for a solid 5 minutes listening to it. Oh, it was so great. Anyway, definitely 28 out of 31 because that music too. So many different parts of this game really make you want to come back and keep playing it just over and over again.
Yeah.
And it really, it sticks in your mind. I think the only thing really that it does drop points for me is the 2D aspect where you don't know where the hell you're hitting people. And you don't know who the hell you're hitting or where you are if you're playing multiplayer, which, I mean, again, there's only so much you can do with like a 2D side scroller beat 'em up where, you've got multiple people on the screen and you're trying to keep track of like 3 or 4 different characters at the same time.
It gets very tough.
It does. And really, I can't, as much as I want to, I can't knock it on points for those arrows, because the way that they implemented them, it's almost as if they meant it to be there in a way to piss you off and to get you more aggravated, so it's more of an accomplishment when you finally beat those characters. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked absolute donkey balls.
Yeah.
But you still, I know I did, when I beat those stupid little pucker-faced
the
thief things, when I finally defeated those, I really felt that sense of accomplishment.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm thinking 28 out of 31 is going to be my my ultimate score here.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good score. I'm going to give it 27 out of 31 because it absolutely does lose points for those fucking arrows in my book. I don't care. I'm not going to be as forgiving. It pissed me off, and it prevented me from being able to beat one of the arenas. So, 27 out of 31.
And like I said before, everyone, this is how Rob truly feels.
Hated him. Didn't even use him for my character. Like, I invested in magic so that I didn't have to invest in arrows. I just, you know what? No. If I'm going to use arrows in any video game, it's going to be Icarus. Because that's fun. That is sexy. I like shooting arrows in Icarus. It makes me feel good.
It make me feel good. But you get the good feel.
But with Castle Crashers, no. I want nothing to do with the arrows. I think it's a stupid feature. And it's like, if they... Okay, minus the characters whose special ability it is to rain arrows down. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Aside from that, like you said, I understand why it's there. I get, the implementation of it. If everybody was melee, it would make for a boring game. They just annoyed me. So I think it was just cheap the way that sometimes in the game they can gang up on you in such a way where you are literally stuck. Like, the only way that I would be able to get out of certain situations with these arrows is by doing my magic jump and then blasting fireballs down on them from above. That's the only way that I was able to get. And, like, if you don't have your magic leveled up, you're done.
Yeah, it's true.
So, that's why I'm knocking the arrows off. Because if you're not... I mean, granted, I don't know how I would have made it out of there if I didn't have that magic upgrade, but... I'm sure it wouldn't have been as easy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it does lose a point in that for my book, but 27 out of 31 and 28 out of 31, I think that that's a very commendable score. I cannot recommend this game highly enough. I think we picked it up on Steam or on Switch for like, $7 when it was on sale? I think it's like $15 normally.
Yeah, 7 to 10, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it was cheaper.
And that's US dollars. But yeah, it's a pretty affordable game. I mean,
yeah, it was about 7 cheeseburgers.
This game holds up.
Yeah.
This game, for being 15 years old, this game holds up.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. It is charming as hell. It is fun to this day. It is goofy. It is silly. It is fun for all ages. And it just, I really can't recommend it enough. There are very, very few games out there that will get a perfect score from me. Mm. And I'm not going to list them off now because that would make for bad podcasting in the future. But you might be playing through one of them right now. So that being said, I think Castle Crashers is a very great game. I think everybody who hasn't checked it out absolutely should. Mm-hmm. And like and subscribe. Tell us your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. And hopefully soon I'll be able to get this podcast out there on every other platform because right now I'm stuck on Podbean. But that is all right. I appreciate everybody who listens. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, this is a passion project for the both of us. And,
yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. Any feedback, any likes, comments, anything is greatly appreciated. So.
And once I don't know what the plans are, but I know we were talking about doing kind of a Discord thing. Once we finally get that going, by all means, join it. talk to us, because we'd love to hear your feedback. We'd love to have conversations, because that's what it's about, is having conversations about games. If we're wrong, please tell us. If you know more about the game, please, because I would love to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. And we both, at the moment, we both live very busy lives, and we only get to do this, once every couple of weeks, but
it ain't easy being cheesy.
So yeah, I mean, hey, it's a work in progress.
It is.
It's labor of love.
Yes.
So anyway, with that being said, thanks to all for tuning in, and drive home safe. Stay hydrated.
And if no one's told you this today, I appreciate you.
Take it easy.